a bunch of ginger. Some of it was starting to get bad, so cut off the bad pieces. And I'm going to peel up the rest of it, and we're going to dehydrate it in pieces, not small enough to make powder though, because I just want to have some ginger that I can quickly rehydrate if I need it for a recipe or a remedy. So I cut off the bad pieces, and then I break the chunks up to easily peelable pieces. There's a lot of nooks and crannies on ginger, so if you just break it apart at the easy places, you can get into some of these weird spots when you're peeling. You want to get all of the skin off when you're dehydrating ginger. And I'll probably cut these into slivers about the width of a quarter, and put them in the dehydrator and see how long it takes. I've made ginger powder before, so I've made the pieces really, really small. I have not just dried it in chunks or slivers yet. So alright, I'll come back to you when I am ready to do that. So here we go. You can see it's a little bit thicker than a quarter, but maybe a quarter inch, and that's the size I like for just dehydrating when I dehydrate anything else. So I figured this would be a good one for ginger. You know, if I wanted to dry this a lot more quickly, I could just cut them into, much smaller pieces like this. But that would be if I were doing it for powder. I want these big chunks for recipes, for remedies, whatever. It's a lot easier to cut it to the size you want it at the time than to try to get it to tiny little specks for a recipe. It's just easier to figure it out. So, alright, I'll come back to you when these are ready to go in the dehydrator. Alright, so it's all laid out and ready to go. Most of these are the same width, but of course there's always a few that you end up cutting smaller for some reason. So I like to put all of the smaller ones on one side because they'll dry faster, and that way if they do, I can pull them off the tray easily without having to take out the whole tray. Just pull it forward a bit, and pick off these ones on the end, and then put the rest back in easily. So, alright, so this is going to go into the dehydrator on the vegetable setting, and I'm going to dry for 8 hours to start, and then we'll see where we are. Alright, the ginger was done after 8 hours at 125 degrees, or the vegetable setting. All of the pieces, the small ones and the large ones, were done in that amount of time. This is what it looks like, and I'll put it in a jar and see how much I have. Alright, I ended up with half a cup of ginger, and that was 1 tray's worth. And you might be wondering why I'm using such a big jar. Well, today when I went to Costco to buy oranges, they had this. This is 1 3/4 pounds of organic ginger, and it was $5.79. Even just one of these would cost about $9 in a grocery store for organic ginger. So I really didn't think I could pass this up. So I am going to be dehydrating all of this, going to fill up my jar, and then anything left I will grind into powder. But I thought I'd pass that along because I've never seen ginger at Costco before. let alone organic ginger. So yeah, if you want a really good deal on organic ginger, you check your Costco out right now and see if they have this, or call them if you don't want to make the trip without knowing. Alright, so you can see dehydrating ginger is very easy. If I want to make this into powder, all I have to do is stick this in my spice grinder and pulse it until it is the right consistency.